I'm an environmental scientist. Of course, I reduce my carbon footprint by conferencing in my pajamas.
I'm an environmental scientist, and of course, I'm a tree hugger. But that's not a tree. Oh.
I'm an environmental scientist. Of course, I reduce my carbon footprint by wearing cool second-hand clothes.
I am an environmental scientist, and of course I love math.
I am an environmental scientist. Of course, the first thing you tell me about is how much you recycle.
I'm an environmental scientist. And of course I sleep with my bike.
I'm an environmental scientist. Of course I'm passionate about marine science and sharing all the ocean climate issues with my students.
I'm an environmental scientist, and of course I'm very busy, so I have to be efficient with my time.
I am an environmental scientist and I study cities. And of course, I live in the middle of nowhere in the countryside.
I'm an environmental scientist and of course I love violets.
I'm an environmental scientist. And of course, I know the names of all the weeds in the world.
I am an environmental economist. Of course, I inform politicians about effective climate policy.
I'm an environmental scientist and I think soil is super interesting.
I'm an environmental scientist. Of course I can use a drill.
I'm an environmental science communicator. Of course I asked all these scientists to do this challenge for World Environment Day.
I'm an environmental scientist, of course. Every request from our research communications office makes me deeply uncomfortable.